Holy shit, Batman! Did we get a nice array of villains in Batman the Caped Crusader? Hey y'all, my name is Mike Vaughn, and in this video, I want to rank the Caped Crusader's villains from worst to best. Before we begin, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe. I do upload daily, and your support means everything to me. Now, back to the video. Also, I'm only including villains that have full episodes dedicated to them. That means the Joker's cameo in the finale or the brief appearance of King Tut doesn't count. Also, despite ranking the villains, none of them are terrible in any way. The video is just for fun. Also, wait in the comments because I really want to see your rankings. But please keep it civil. It's a cartoon show, and if it's not what you're used to, just stream the animated series instead. Right off the bat, I love Catwoman as a character. She's stylish, witty, and she just wants nice stuff, which, come on, who can't relate to that? But Catwoman, aka Selena Kyle, isn't really given much to do in this series, and frankly, she's not the most compelling character. I assume that if we're gonna get another season, we will surely get more interesting storylines with her. However, for now, I have to admit, she just feels like an afterthought. Alright, so maybe this is a hot take, but I really didn't think Two-Face as a villain was that interesting. Yes, I do think that Harvey Dent's arc was, for the most part, well done, but I found the villain counterpart to be lackluster. Like, I get it, you don't want to go full Tommy Lee Jones from Batman and Robin. Yet, I think they could have shown more of his savagery. I think we forget that as a foe, Two-Face is brutal and terrifying. Again, I do appreciate the writers giving Dent/Two-Face a level of complexity over the course of the season, but I don't know, I just think they could have taken him a little bit further. And again, probably they will if this series is going to be ongoing. From Two-Face to Clayface, I really love the episode that this version of Clayface was introduced in. So maybe that and the fact that the character is pretty scary looking visually makes me rank him this way. As a fan of old school horror, I enjoyed how Clayface paid homage to Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera, complete with tragic backstory. Was he the most complex villain on the list? No. Which is why I didn't think he should be ranked any higher. But damn, I really found him to be a cool villain. Firebug is a Batman villain that I always found to be truly disturbing. Arson is such an evil crime, so centering a villain around that is unsettling and interesting. Taking this a step further, the writers give us a window into how Firebug sees his crimes, namely the beauty in them. All this death and destruction really gives him this intense kind of pleasure. And I don't know, I always thought Firebug was an underrated Batman villain, so I was excited to see him in this series. I hope to do more with him if the show gets picked up for another season. Like Firebug, I really like Anam Monia as a Batman villain. He's probably the most obscure character featured in this season, and I loved him being included. I went back and forth on this, yet I think what edges him out over Firebug is that he's way more menacing, and his presence and dry delivery are unsettling and memorable. I kind of compare him to Calendar Man, who was seen as lame until they transformed him in the comic The Long Halloween. Anam Monia deserves his day, and I think we got it here. Since the series takes place in the 40s, I like how we see a younger version of Natalia Knight, and giving her a Wednesday Addams look is a stroke of genius. But what makes me place her here on this list is she provides the series with some truly stellar kinder trauma, which is something that the OG series was great at doing. Like, this villain kidnaps kids and drains them. That is some wicked shit. However, despite this, she is another tragic Batman villain, and I like how the Caped Crusader does take pity on her. After all, she is another orphan who is mainly a victim of circumstance, but she's pretty evil. Now we're getting to the best of the best. So, this series certainly takes big swings by changing characters. Perhaps the biggest change among them is the Penguin, who is now a woman. This version of the Penguin takes a less is more approach. She's not as over the top as some of the other villains on this list, yet she has this presence that is intimidating. For example, she can keep her cool, yet if you mess with her, she will burn your entire life to the ground. And I always think it's scarier when a villain is calm on the outside because you just know something wonderfully wicked is brewing on the inside. This makes it all the more impactful when she does show her anger. The Penguin is great in here. I don't care what anybody says, and I'm here for it. I want to see more. I was really excited when I heard Gentleman Ghost was announced to be in this show. I've been a big fan, and I like this firmly establishes that the supernatural can exist in this universe, which it is very much the case in the comics as well. It's pretty bold, and this character is known as a reverse Robin Hood, stealing from the poor and giving to the wealthy. Maybe it's not the most subtle commentary, but it's interesting nonetheless. But as for Gentleman Ghost as a villain, well, visually, he's a great design, and I don't mean this as a dig, but he gives me Scooby-Doo villain in the best way possible. The showrunners also don't take him in a campy direction, which allows him to be more menacing. Also, I don't want to spoil it, but holy crap, his comeuppance in this is amazing. I would love to see him come back somehow if we get a season 2. Alright, in first place, the one and only Harley Quinn. Much like Penguin, Quinn's change-up is sadly causing some fans to get upset, because now she is Asian American and doesn't find herself under the thumb of Joker. I have to say, I honestly did not see this coming, and thankfully I avoided some spoilers that we were getting Harley Quinn as her fully formed villain self. I thought, oh, I guess if there's a second season, she will probably meet the Joker and her same origin story, blah, blah, blah. So, damn, I was thrown for a loop when she came out in her outfit to mentally torture Gotham's elite. I love it so much. She is probably the most terrifying person on this list because she gets into your mind and mentally breaks you down. Harley has always been a lighter character and even an anti-hero. Yet in this version, she is brutal and unforgiving. I think there's room for many different versions of a character, and I don't think shaking things up is a bad thing. Like, you cannot please fans. It's either too much like the OG series and you have no original ideas, or when you get creative, you went too far. Alright, rant over, but Harley Quinn's my number one top pick. She's awesome. End of story. So I hope you all enjoyed that video. Again, I really want to get your rankings below in the comments. And wait, hold up. Check out these videos, and I will see y'all in the next one.